I lost my train of thought.
What?
I was filming myself for YouTube.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, what's up? I'm putting it.
Sorry. Am I in it? Oh shit.
I mean, I'm recording now. Well, guess this is the first sort of like me talking to you guys face to face and piece of content that isn't the vlog. But today I just sort of kind of want to explain and tell you why I shoot film. It's a bit of a long love story that I've had with these little things, yeah. But part of the reasoning why I shoot film now is just simply I fell in love with it. I fell in love with the look it gave. I fell in love with the methodology and the methods of shooting film. I've been influenced by a lot of people around me and a lot of the stuff I've seen in terms of work on like social media, right? Seeing a couple people that I knew who shot film habitually, by the way, shout out Rocco and Anthony Nuska. Their work, I'll link them in the down below at the end of the video. Check out some of their work, it's amazing. But yeah, I picked up my first 35mm camera and it sort of grew into an obsession, I would say. Part of why I shoot film is it's a look that can't be replicated on digital cameras. No matter how hard you try on like your fancy Sony, your fancy Canon, whatever, it truly can never get close to what film photos will look like. Digital cameras just have this inherent sharpness to their images. You can automatically tell when it's shot with a digital camera, right? With film and analog, the systems are different. There's no most of the time there's no electronic part to play at all. Looking from that era of photography, the analog method, to now, like, you see how far technology has come. And I think in that sense, you just get a greater appreciation for it. Like, this is what people had to use to shoot photos. Look how big and clunky this thing is. But from this to what we have now, like, you see the jump in technological advancement. And just going back to the past and sort of using these analog methods, you sort of gain a higher appreciation for it. Mind you, I will say one thing though. I will give you sort of like a warnings, for lack of a better word, before telling you to go shoot film. Film photography is a bit like substance abuse. Let me explain. Trust me when I say you're never gonna shoot film just once. There's never, oh, I'm just gonna do this one time. No, like, you're gonna get addicted. And there's a lot of reasons why you're gonna get addicted. And your wallet might suffer for it. Because if you can't develop or scan on your own, your wallet's gonna hate you.
Are there any left?
There may be one. Okay, it's $500, you have no choice of carrier, the battery can't hold a charge, and the reception isn't very—
Shut up and take my money!
On the technical side of things, just not on the technical, like, spec side of things, film has proven itself to be a bit more lenient and more forgiving when it comes to dynamic range. Like, I would even say that, like, film does have a higher dynamic range than most digital cameras we have today. Okay, never mind the A7S III or whatever. Like, I have enough Sony guys talking in my ear already. By the way, love y'all. But generally speaking, like, film does have a higher dynamic range. Like, overexposing, underexposing mean totally different things in the analog world, right? Like, you're not gonna see a lot of, you may see like some blown out whites, but it's not gonna be as bad as it would if you cranked your ISO on your digital camera up to like 1600. Whereas like with film, I can comfortably shoot at 1600 if I wanted to in broad daylight and still get pretty good results. I would say the biggest thing for me is I use film photography as a way to sort of balance and better myself on the digital photography side. Of course, like I still use digital cameras for like commercial work, event, any of that sort of stuff. It's a bit harder now considering, but with film, I like to consider it a purposeful handicap. Some rolls give you 36. The 120 roll on my Mamiya RB, I only get 10. So instead of just spraying and praying like what most people do, I sure did a lot of that shooting sports. You start to really focus on the image itself, not just capturing the moment, but giving yourself time to think about composition, lighting, subject, all these things that, like, yes, is a part of our career, but generally speaking, when you're shooting, most of the time you're shooting on instinct, especially in those fast-paced environments or even just in general. Film, I call purposeful handicap because it allows me to slow down and really think about what I would want in an image. Where should I place the subject? What colors should they be wearing? What color is the background? What's in the background? So with that in mind, shooting film has allowed me to also keep in mind those things that, you know, I generally don't think. I started relying less on instinct to shoot photos and more of being thoughtful with my photos, being thoughtful with my photography, and being thoughtful of what I shoot. So I think that's like the big takeaway for me, where it can allow you to get better in terms of the digital world. It can allow you to be a better shooter. It's a learning tool more than anything for me. The final thing that I would really want to stress, this is the most exciting part, is you never know what you never know where you're gonna get. With digital photos, we have preview, like we can just see what we took and call it a day, and I feel that sort of takes the magic out of it, right? With film, I don't know how the photo's gonna look. There's like that sense of just uncertainty, but also excitement, and it's kind of like when you were a kid and waking up on Christmas morning, just opening the presents under the Christmas tree. You don't know what you're gonna get, but you're excited. It's that same sort of feeling when I finish a roll and drop it off to the shop for development. I won't know what I'm gonna get. Even when it comes back, I still won't know until I pop it in a scanner and see for myself. And that moment is kind of like, whoa, I took that on this thing, this relic. And it's definitely one of the most gratifying, satisfying feelings that I've ever felt. It's just, you wait like 2 weeks for the shop to send it over, and once you get it, you throw it in the scanner. It's kind of like, whoa, this is the process that it took from point A to get to here, right? And it's just a testament to, like, this is how people used to do it back in the day. Guys who did commercial work with film didn't know what they were gonna get until they went and developed it, right? So there's definitely that. Well, that's it from me, I suppose. I do heavily recommend it to anyone who wants to get film photography a try. It's definitely given me a lot in terms of knowledge and just upping my skills and adding another thing to my toolbox. But keep in mind as well, it is a bit of a financial strain. So don't go breaking your bank. I mean, this thing you'll probably find, it's basically a vintage item. You can probably find it. It's a bit expensive. You can find it on eBay for like maybe $400, maybe. But you don't have to use something like that to get into film, right? Like this, you can probably find for cheap. Like this is not cheap, by the way, but you get what I mean. Or something like this. This is I found this for $5 in a thrift store. So if you want to go find a film camera, go thrift store. Go thrift shopping. When everything opens up, by the way. But yeah, like it's $5. $5 works like a gem. And you can take it to professional degree, or you can just want to snap photos of whatever you want, save some memories, take it to a party, take it to a wedding, whatever. But it's definitely a fun thing to try. And now that like film is sort of making a resurgence, I think there is no better time to try to get into the analog lifestyle. Yeah. Well, that's it from me. Like and subscribe. Leave a comment if you want. Check out my Instagram, If you want to hit me up, ask me more questions about film, feel free to send me a DM. I am more than happy to have conversations and meet new people. But yeah, that's it from me. Stay well, guys.